the mindset of a Jedi is sort of what I view a really healthy masculine man to be. Right? Because a Jedi is someone who is calm, cool, collected, also a very loving, caring person, either to their Padawan or to like the people they're trying to protect, but at the same time, incredibly dangerous and capable of violence only when absolutely necessary. And I think the meshing of that is like super important for like healthy masculinity. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Something for Everybody. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Joel, welcome back to the show.
You know, this is actually my first time on the show because it's always been the Jackson Stone pod.
Yeah, I know, right? That's very true. That's very important.
So it's almost like a new beginning.
It is a new beginning.
So let's call it my fourth time, but it's a first time too. But I'm still your most.
Yeah, you're a four-timer. You and Sam Pack are the most appeared people on this podcast.
I hope it's by request and not by me forcefully coming here and saying every September, expect me to be recording.
No, I love it. I mean, our first episode was episode 21.
Uh-huh.
That was when you just moved in.
Yes.
Then we did episode 72, and then we did episode 115, and now this is episode 193. That's crazy.
That's crazy. I know you're saying you're planning 200 coming. I was hoping I could have landed on 200, but I know that's just going to be you, and I know that's something to look forward to.
I was asking my fiance to do episode 200 with me, and she's never been on the pod, but she is under the impression that she wants to wait to like episode 500 where like way more people listen than like the medium amount of people that listen and watch now. I'm like,
what if she's the reason though that you go viral? That'd
be awesome. She's been posting all these workout videos on Instagram, and some of them have gone pretty viral. So she's the person that people care about in this relationship. So that's why I'm trying to get her on the pod, for her to share her wisdom, her insight in her like beautiful British accent. But
I think people would enjoy me. Okay. Maybe you could save it.
Oh gosh. You just spilled everywhere.
Cut.
Keep it rolling, but I do really like these poppies, and they're a Dallas brand, so if you listen to this podcast and you want to sponsor it.
Poppy. Soon to be sponsored of.
Soon to be sponsored of something for everybody.
But and not to be confused with the official sponsor of the podcast.
Which used to be
the Leather Sofa Company.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as you can see, this is clearly not leather.
Not leather. We got a new sofa.
But if you turn the camera slightly that way, the Leather Sofa Company.
You're never going to get that back straight to where it needs to be.
I know.
We're still here. This is the best episode we've had yet. Perfect.
All right, now back to our regular scheduled programming.
And you might be wondering if our video editor, Ben, will edit that out. He will not. You will see that in full.
Maybe bloopers at the end?
No way.
Okay.
No way. That's why people like this pod. Unedited, uninterrupted content.
Alrighty.
All right, Joel. What we need, what the people need is an update.
An update.
An update since you moved out of this house, which has been about a year.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's crazy to think about. My new roommates make me call them mom and dad because they're my loving parents.
Your parents are lovely.
And it's going really, really well. It's surprisingly better than I thought, but it also, lose a little bit of the independence, but it's nothing like it used to be, what I thought it was going to be, where they're just always hawking over me.
Sure.
They've definitely given me a lot of independence, a lot more independence. Don't really pester me, been really supportive. I started working out. I see a personal trainer twice a week.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
I know. So, my dad is the one that got me the trainer. Not got me, but
introduced you.
Yeah, introduced me to the trainer. I'm like I gotta fund that myself, and a private trainer's not the cheapest, but so far I think it's worth it.
It's a very, very, very lucrative investment, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
There's a lot of return on that.
And I still don't like going to the gym, and I'm trying to tell myself positive affirmations about it, but it is. I still haven't found it to become my happy place yet.
It doesn't really matter if you like going as long as you go.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully, we'll touch on this, but my buddy was telling me you need to find something else to supplement going to the gym, like an activity to supplement going to the gym. So he's really into biking, like cross, country cycling. And I was telling him I've really gotten into like golf and disc golf lately, but that was just impossible to do this summer because this was, I think I would have to say, the most brutal Texas summer I think
that you've experienced. You've been here a long time.
Yeah, I've lived here my entire life, and I've lived in Phoenix, and this was probably the most brutal summer, being constantly in the hundreds, 90s when it's dark. Just really couldn't do anything outside. It really drained my mood this summer. Something I definitely noticed, and today's actually, I think, the first day it hasn't been in like the top hundreds, even 90s. It's been really nice out, and my mood just does feel really different. And yeah, being able to get out, to go to Colorado in August, to get out for a little bit, again, that was a nice little mood shifter. But right as I came back and my blood started boiling and everywhere started perspirating, I just it's been a tough summer just because the outdoors and nature really does enhance my mood. I've realized. And so that was the summer. Spring, let's see, Mavericks were disappointing. I'm optimistic, kind of optimistic for this upcoming season, so we'll see. But still loving my Mavericks.
Well, we love the Mavs. We love Luka.
Luka. Cowboys had a promising start to their season.
Dude.
Hopefully, when you watch this, we're still undefeated.
It'll be in October when this comes out. So,
but as of this episode, we're undefeated, and the other team has never scored on us. So
that was a, like, you rarely see a 40-0 football game.
No.
Like, sometimes people squeak in a field goal or like one touchdown late in the game.
And where they get like defense had the first score. They scored 14, or did they score 3? I don't remember, but it was a great Cowboys game. I'm optimistic this season.
And hopefully by the time you're watching or listening to this, the Rangers are in the playoffs.
Yes.
Doing some damage.
That's been
Very interesting
roller coaster of a season. Like it was peaking, and then all of a sudden I went to a game with Tanner and we just started losing and losing and losing. So Tanner, if you're watching this, make us win. You're hopefully you haven't gone to another game at home this season, because so far, like, we were going 25 games. I think we loss record at home this season, and he had been to 5. It was like a record-winning season until he had been to all losing games this season.
Poor Tanner. He's a huge Rangers fan too.
Fortunate. It's how he met his fiance at the Rangers.
Beautiful.
If you're watching, JC, hi, Tanner.
They're getting married next year. They bought a house. I mean, beautiful. Mazel tov.
I know. So, and then, saw a bunch of movies this past year, as I always do. Still love going to the theater.
Okay, what was number 1 and 2 and 3 movies you saw?
Now I gotta pull out the list of movies.
Yep.
It honestly, it wasn't a great movie season. Simply, now with the strike especially, they can't do a lot of promoting. Not a lot of people are going to the theaters.
Yeah.
Let's see, what has been some of my favorites this year? Honestly, okay, so very low key one, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was one called Theater Camp, and it's about, this theater camp stars Jimmy Tatro.
Oh, Jimmy.
So funny. And it's perfect if you don't necessarily have to be the theater person that was in high school or middle school, but if you knew that one theater person in high school, it's like it's a really funny movie. And then, of course, Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse was really good.
Oh, yeah.
The animated one. Guardians 3, really good. I hope you watched it.
I have not watched it yet.
I
I have not
It's
watched
okay.
it yet.
But and then of course, Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer weekend was a fun one.
Yep.
Both fun movies, but yeah, it hasn't been the greatest movie year.
The best movie that I saw in theaters by far was Mission Impossible.
Oh, Mission Impossible was a fun one. That was definitely fun. Really, really good, actually. I can't wait for the second one.
So good. It just follows like your standard action movie plot.
Yeah. The only thing I wish is that they didn't show the jump like 3 years prior to the movie, because they were using that to promote the Top Gun Maverick, and that was the biggest the apex of the movie, and I liked the top feeling in the movie to be seen in the theaters, not
Right.
So
Interesting that Tom Cruise is the guy to have 2 blockbuster movies in the past couple years.
yeah, well, not surprising either. I mean,
Yeah.
they say that he's the last movie star, but people want to go, not have to really think about what's on screen, just enjoy.
Just watch a film, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy my favorite movie weekend, though, I do have to say, was the Oppenheimer Barbie weekend, just because it was great to see the theaters full again. Whenever I go to the theaters, I don't really have to wait in line for popcorn because there's not a lot of people at the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I had to wait in line for popcorn. I wasn't too thrilled, but I was also very, very happy that people were at the theaters. And it's a fun communal experience. You laugh more with other people.
Absolutely.
Feel more emotions with other people. It's a fun communal experience. So.
I mean, the promotion for Barbie was excellent.
Stellar. No, yeah. Oh,
it was excellent.
No
like
doubt.
Any sort of marketing agency should study that on how to get something into pop culture. Like Barbie's already part of pop culture, obviously, but like the doll itself is. Getting the movie and people to wear pink and all of these things, like just meshed in culture was amazing.
Yeah, I think it timed a little bit perfectly with Taylor Swift's Eras tour and the pink, but it meshed.
Did well.
It meshed perfectly. It was a fun one. I know people had differing opinions on it based off of what your own personal views are, but honestly, if you went in with just zero expectation, just know that it's satirical. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a funny one.
Great. I haven't watched it yet, but it actually came out on streaming services today.
Oh, did it really?
So,
I didn't know
which
that.
is September 12th. Rhea and I will watch it. I'm sure
it's fun.
I think she's gonna watch Little Mermaid right now. So
I started. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know if it's just I'm past my Disney princess era, but I do like. I like movies. I like all movies. I listened to the music, the soundtrack. Love the soundtrack. Halle Bailey, great voice. Just couldn't get into sappy prince and princess romance anymore. I try. I know that's your field.
I mean, I do. I mean, I can't deny that I love a good love story.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm. I gotta stay off Twitter because episode 5 of Ahsoka
comes out right now
tonight, and apparently apparently episode 5 is being shown right in a theater at North Park.
Oh, really?
To select few. Yeah, I try to get tickets, but did you watch the Clone Wars, the animated series?
Like a while back, I did.
Okay. Apparently, there's like it stems from it, and I didn't get into the animated series, but
that's a really good show.
It's fantastic. That's the first thing I'm doing when I get home. I think it drops at 8. So
yeah, I mean, I could watch Jedi stuff all day.
Yeah.
One, I love the mindset and the mentality that a Jedi is supposed to have. Right. I think the mindset of a Jedi is sort of what I view a really healthy masculine man to be. Right? Because a Jedi is someone who is calm, cool, collected, also a very loving, caring person, either to their Padawan or to like the people they're trying to protect, but at the same time, incredibly dangerous and capable of violence only when absolutely necessary. And I think the meshing of that is like super important for like healthy masculinity. And I think that could be promoted more in our culture rather than what's happening now, which I think is not good for men and not good, especially for young boys who are looking at that. But like, if you see a Jedi, like Like they meditate, they're at peace, they understand how to deal with their emotions and their thoughts. They have some cooperation about them. They can get along with people, but they stand their ground. And again, obviously, very capable of being very dangerous and violent, but understand exactly when to use it, how to use it, and have it under voluntary control.
Yeah, they, you know,
It's
and
amazing.
even masters have masters, you know, masters have apprentices, and those, you know, masters have apprentices.
They're always
So
learning, and they're always,
always
curious,
learning.
and
Yeah,
they're always teetering on the dark side, and like, you know, because everyone has evil inside of them.
hmm
Like you and I and everyone has capable of being very vicious and evil.
oh yeah, free
And
will.
we
I
have
mean,
those thoughts in our head all the time. Like you're not free of evil thoughts. Like sometimes I'm like, you know, whatever, right? But we're voluntarily deciding to be on the dark, on the light side, to choose that path, to walk it, even though it's really hard. And you know, they talk about that all the time with Jedi's. You know, the dark, or what is it? What is it?
the dark
The
side.
dark side, yeah, dark force, same thing.
I think, yeah, I think everybody is. I think people are inherently born knowing right from wrong, or good from evil. Um, people just choose not to
Yeah.
follow it.
Sometimes, yeah, just depends. Sometimes people's perspectives get skewed, or they're, you know, shown the wrong information, or they're taught by mentors or role models or caregivers sort of the wrong thing. You know, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Or
free will. It's
so.
it's a crazy thing.
But there's always a choice at the end of the day. Like yes, hard as it may be, if you had all these negative role models in your life that were showing you how to, like, the opposite way to live, like you still, as you become an autonomous adult with agency over your life, you can still make the choice to walk this path. Yeah, very hard, because you have to sort of unlearn and then relearn and then readjust and then, you know, change your perspective. But all of that is still possible, because the light always exists, and we can always choose to go down that path. Because our, you know, as our famous Viktor Frankl, you know, once said in the Holocaust, that, you know, our response is always under our control, no matter how dire the situation. And if he can do it under those circumstances, like in the concentration camps, then we can do it in these, like, unbelievably beautiful circumstances overall that we live in.
Yeah, you can't control others, but you can control how you respond.
Absolutely.
I like it. You know, I haven't done much thought into the Jedi's creation by George Lucas, but I like the anecdote there. Had a way to wrap it to some Star Wars.
I was thinking about that exactly when I was watching it. I was like, that's why I love Jedi's. That's why I've always loved them. You know, I'm not like a massive Star Wars fan, but I've seen all of the movies, and I like watching them. But now I'm like, oh, that's why I really like them.
Yeah,
They're super cool. There was a video I watched on YouTube about, I can't remember the Lord of the Rings character. He's the one who protects Frodo. For the most part, he has long hair. He's got a sword.
Samwise?
No. Shoot.
Bilbo Baggins?
Oh, he's like a warrior king. No, whatever. Anyways, they were talking. This guy made a video about him, about how he's the sort of the apex of healthy masculinity, and for all the same reasons why that I just mentioned, right? For this ability to be a protector, right? A hero. The definition of a hero is a protector of two, not like a killer of bad guys. There's a difference between the two, and being able to voluntarily control that, and also be kind and be about love. And, you know, there's this former Army Ranger named John Lovell who calls it the warrior poet, which I think is great.
Yeah. Well, I had heard something the other day. It was like, bravery is something you do in the act of others, not for yourself. And it was because I saw somebody was calling the I don't know if you watched the U.S. Open at all, but heard that the climate protest happened and some guy glued their feet. Somebody's calling him a brave person. And it's like, brave isn't something you do. It's something you do for others. That's something you're just doing for himself.
Right.
So I thought that was an interesting quote that I heard, that, you know, bravery is not necessarily, oh, he's so brave, you know, to do something on his own. No, you do something bravery for, you know, selflessness.
Yeah.
So
that's the mark of bravery, courage, all that stuff. The mark of a hero. All right, what kind of questions you got, Joel?
Oh, mine was just like,
What do we got?
like, hey, how well do we know each other? But I did actually want to bring something up because 2 weeks ago I deleted my Instagram.
Why is that?
Just I was getting relatively depressed. Noticed, well, what kind of, I had been thinking about it for a while, but what really tipped it was I saw a friend throw a party like back to back weekends, invite like, mutual friends, and no, like I was not invited. Asked a mutual friend, like, hey, why did so and so throw a party? Why wasn't I invited? Like, and so I don't know. I realized that it gives you false, I guess, false reality of being included, and feeling like it gave me a sense of loneliness. And it's why I deleted my Snapchat like in 2018 or so, is because I didn't like seeing what people were doing in real time, knowing that I wasn't specifically included. And so while I know, like when I was with Evan the other day playing disc golf, it's like I, could see on Snapchat, him getting with Tanner, and I would feel left out if I saw him and Tanner got together, if I physically saw it. But like I know that they get to, I know people like that we're in cohorts of friends with get together individually.
Sure.
But just seeing, I guess seeing it and knowing that you're kind of left out really made me feel bad. And I'm just using that as an example. I know people get together outside of social media and stuff, but I didn't like the feeling of not being included, even if, I know my purpose, or even if I know, like, I shouldn't be in the invite people get together and stuff, but I didn't like the loneliness that it made me feel. And then once I did delete it, that's when I noticed I was having like a screen time addiction to it. I would try to open my phone. I still kind of do it a little bit and naturally go to the folder that it was in and try to open it. But now when I deleted it, the WhatsApp kind of moved in its place, which is totally different than a feed.
Sure.
So I was just trying to naturally look at it to kill time. And so for the first week, or like first couple days last week, it was really, really hard because I didn't really know what to do with my time. That's how I occupied a lot of my time. I was opening it up, and not healthy for me. So I'm trying to live without need. And since I have deleted it, I don't necessarily feel as left out on stuff because I don't necessarily know what's going on.
Because you're not seeing it happen in real time.
Because I'm not seeing it happen in real time. So like if I saw, you threw a party, and I was like, hey, where's my invite? I don't like to see it. I know that it happens. I don't like to see it. It's kind of like,
if you ever see me throw a party at this house and I didn't invite you, it's because I forgot. Just come over.
Well, see, that's the thing is I don't like to be the one person forgotten about. That's another thing. I don't want to be the person forgotten about.
Right.
It happens. Trust me. Been there. But it's noted. I'll jot that down if you're ever throwing a party.
That's a rule of thumb at this house that you've lived in for 2 years.
But now I know that I have a key,
and you know the code,
and I still have a key. But yeah, it's nice to not be able to see that sort of stuff going on in real time, and not. The only thing that I feel like I miss out on is now like knowing immediately which concerts are coming to town that I would want to see, or if there's an event like going on, or like a special marketing promotion. Like I think Instagram promotion is how I saw that they were doing an early screening of Guardians of the Galaxy. So
stuff like that is actually useful information.
Yeah, some of the stuff like I've seen. Plus some of the stuff like that for, I guess, some marketing purposes, for the specific things that interest me. yeah, that's kind of a loss, but I feel like my mental health not having like there are other ways I could find out about stuff coming. Facebook is, it's Meta, it's Instagram disguised.
Right.
So I still have that. I haven't really ever been somebody that posts and tells people what I'm necessarily up to or what my life's going on in my life. So, if I have that philosophy, I don't really need to know. If people want to know what's going on in my life, they can give me a call. If you want to know what's going on in my life, hit them up. I'll give you my phone number. Happy to talk.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes, yeah, that's what's so tough about social media and like the constant need that people now feel to post about their lives 24/7 instead of actually like being in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's hard, like especially for young people who sort of feel the same way, like they're seeing all of their friends post all of these things and like they're not invited at all ever. It's a terrible feeling, it's a terrible feeling because all we want as people is to feel like we have a sense of belonging and that people care about us or they like us. And it's hard. And so
I think another thing too was, I don't know how I was just getting so much like sexually explicit like stuff targeted to me, and I don't know like how or why necessarily. All these, nothing against anybody doing. I'm totally for free, but like all these OnlyFans like models trying to advertise their stuff, would pop in my feed. And again, not hating on the game or the players, only I guess the fans that are the fans. It's not something that, I necessarily wanted my feed to be, all advertisements of, people that I didn't know, because it became very advertising heavy of follow, so-and-so that you've never seen based off of something that you saw somebody else and that used this. The algorithm, people talk about it, so I didn't care for, the sort of feed that it was feeding me. And, now that I don't see it, it's nice. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a net positive.
Yeah,
100%.
I feel
for you, your mental health, your sanity.
Yeah. Now just hopefully not replacing it with something else is the goal. So like, don't go look at Twitter more often. Go pick up a book or go. If you're out with people, talk to somebody. Don't just look at your phone. Or it's a process, I guess. Like
it is.
It's like I said, the first week I kept naturally opening my phone to open up the app, and there's nothing there.
Well, now if you feel like doing it, instead of opening Instagram, just go for a walk. There's your extra activity you've been looking for outside of the gym.
I'll try. Now again, I know you're different and waking up early and all that stuff, and I couldn't go. I could barely walk in this heat. I applaud you for doing that, but like this, I barely wanted to ever take the dog on a walk. But I would only do that in the morning. I would get up at 6 if I had to walk the dog.
Yeah.
But anytime after, this summer was really bad for yeah.
I mean, it was super hot. Like I won't say that it wasn't, but I didn't really have a choice to not be outside.
Yeah.
Like I was coaching 14-year-olds, and if I'm gonna have them be outside and play and practice and give me their best effort, I have to do the same thing. So I basically had to convince myself, especially when we were playing. I mean, we played like 8 games in the span of 3 days, and it was all 100 degrees. So I have to get myself into the same mind frame that I want them to be in. Like the weather is fine. We're still going to give our best effort. Yes, it's hot, but everyone's playing in this heat. We got to still move forward. And then I was just like, the season was over, and I was like, I'm not going to not go outside. Like, yeah, it sucks. I'm going to have to change my clothes 15 times. But like, I like being out here. And it is what it is. So I just sort of forced my way into that mindset. One, because I didn't have a choice, because I was coaching baseball and I wanted to relay that message to my players. And So, but now we ran this morning. Normally the past couple weeks, even when we run at like 6 in the morning, it's still 95 degrees. This morning it was like 75.
Yeah,
It was really nice.
I
We had a
know.
little bit of rain too this morning when we were running, which was nice because the pond, that is over
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
it's like very low, super low.
Oh, I'm sure.
Super low. And so, I mean, a little, like, it was a 10-minute rain. It's not going to fill it back up. But, it's nice to see that, maybe our grass will get a little greener and it'll be 75 degrees out. And,
Yeah.
soon it'll be cold here. And it's nice. The seasons change. It's just like that 3 months that we had was like, well, it was long.
I mean, when I was up in Colorado, beginning of August, up in the mountains, like I was outside so much just because I wanted to eat outside. I slept with the windows open.
Yeah.
Like it just felt so nice for the weather to not be 100 freaking degrees. So
Yeah.
gotta start. I'll probably I should put my clubs in my car and hit the driving range now that it's finally cooled down.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully it stays this way, but
It will. It will. Tell me about your workout journey now.
yeah. So workout journey. First time I stepped in a gym formally in a long time. I would say probably like 5 years. And I really I would say the first 3 weeks I went. So I see personal trainer twice a week. First time I went in there, I felt like a little chihuahua with an attitude. Like I thought everybody that was looking at me was like, oh, who's this, little scrawny out of place guy? Because the gym that I go to, it's a private owned gym. Like it's only leased out by trainers, or it's got an octagon and a boxing ring in it. Like it's a nice gym that clearly is made for athletes and bodybuilders, and I guess just personal trainers training people like me. And I was a very self-conscious my first time I went there. Just new place, very out of shape, didn't really know what I could do. First few, like I said, 3 weeks or so, first month, I would say I was getting so lightheaded, almost felt like throwing up each time. Barely get through, could only lift the bars or whatnot on squats and benching. And I hated it. But they said they said if you just kept sticking with it, it gets better. And sure enough, it got better. And I wouldn't, it's not that's what it did. I got more used to it, and it became more rhythmic and routine, as opposed to I was just starting, my body was adjusting to everything. Now, I still don't find it fun. I still don't find it enjoyable. But I'm less aggravated by people there. I'm more comfortable because people said, you'll recognize people as you go there. Do I know their names? No. One guy I called Dom Toriano because, well, that's what he looks like, is, from Fast and Furious.
Dom.
Dom. I think that's his name, right?
Dom Toretto?
Toretto, not Toriano. Toretto, yes. But I don't think that's his name.
You sure it's not Vin Diesel?
I know it's not, no. No, honestly, it looks more like the brother from 50 First Dates, that wears the fishnet shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Doug. That was his name. Oh, shit. I'll pull it up soon. But yeah, I don't know really anybody's name in the gym, but I recognize faces, and I know that they're just minding their own business as I'm just minding my own business. So, smiles is all it takes in the gym. It's just friendly. That's all. Don't even need a nod or hello, or just a smile is all you need at the gym. That's all I learned. So, but the progress is going well. I've, like I said, built more confidence and comfortability in the gym. I've started in March or April, I think. And like I said, twice a week. I haven't gotten to the point where I feel comfortable going to a gym by myself. Like I got myself a membership at the Plano Rec Center, but I don't know if it's because I'm in a really clean gym that I like the cleanliness of it. And the rec center is just, public gyms. People don't clean up after themselves.
Right.
The ropes all greasy. And the other thing too is I've realized how much I'm not going to say rely on the spotter, but I feel very comfortable with my trainer, and there's a lot of trust in him,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that with him I could push myself, and I guess I don't know my limits yet to go, bench something on my own. So I guess I don't have necessarily the trust or the knowledge of my own limits to go on my own yet. And I don't really know how to build that courage yet to go on my own without my trainer, because what I would like to do is very different than what I'm doing now.
What do you mean?
Like I would like to go for like 3 or 4 times a week.
Ah,
At least twice in person, twice on my own, and eventually to the point where I'm not having to see a trainer twice a week.
sure.
And
But I mean, you're still very new in your workout journey, right? It's only been 4 months,
yeah.
which is not a long time. I mean, it took me like, I don't know. I started working out when I was 14, and now I'm 31.
Yeah.
So like, it took me a long time to get comfortable to figure out what I was doing.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably get to that point where, I will feel comfortable going on my own. I think I just need to make that first step, or maybe have somebody go with me to the public gym
sure.
so I know what I'm doing. But
Let's go then.
gym. Okay. I mean, I'm comfortable now going to a gym, even if it's not the gym I go to.
Which is awesome.
If I had somebody else to go with, I would be more comfortable.
I haven't been in the rec center since I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
The Oak Point, I think, is part of the gym membership. So if you want to go, just right around the corner.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. I mean, I don't have a membership, but you can get a guest pass.
I could guess. Yeah, but outside of the gym, nutrition's probably my hardest thing.
Mm.
I like my Chick-fil-A way too much, like once or twice a week. But just food, I guess eating 3 square meals and protein is a tough thing. Not like protein powder, but like
Actual protein.
actual like meat and stuff.
Yeah.
I like my carbs. I like carbs way too much. I could eat carbs, a lot, and then and then same thing. Like I don't know why I just don't. Food is probably my toughest thing, and I probably blame a little bit on the stomach surgery or put too much blame on that. But I've been told you just need to cut it out, go for it. You'll be hungry for a little bit.
Right.
But your body will adjust to, which I'm learning, it takes time and you need discipline. And I'm learning. I don't have the discipline I thought to, but with time I am, just like I get used to things, I am gaining, I think, more discipline over time. And I think I've also heard you say, if you change too much at once, you're not going to change at all. And then when it comes to food, if you're eating right 75-80% of the time, that's fine. Leave yourself some grace. You don't have to be so acute to everything, and especially at the very beginning when I'm starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily know if there's a time frame for when you start getting comfortable doing stuff. Like I said, going to the gym, it took me it took me 3 months to finally feel comfortable going, twice a week and actually doing my thing. But it'll take me some time to get into routine, discipline, not trying to change too much at once. So, yeah, Gym's going well.
It's yeah. I mean, it all has to be a slow process. Because like if I try to go to the gym, 5 days a week and also eat perfectly and also make sure my sleep is good and also make sure my relationships are perfect, like that's not possible. Yeah, we want to do all of those things. All of those things are very important. But if you're like so far off the mark on one of them, then you just have to do that one thing. You make it a habit for, however long you need, and then you start to focus on the next thing. While why working out is a great way to start, because if you start working out more often, you're more inclined to want to eat well because you know that's going to benefit your working out. And then if you're working out and eating right, you're like, oh, I should probably sleep better because I'll feel more energized in the morning for my workout or whatever it is. So it all has a trickle down effect. And then, of course, all of that stuff plays into your relationships because you usually feel better, you usually have more energy, you usually want to do stuff with people, or you want to talk about it, or you want to make friends. Because so it all plays a part in itself. But if like the one thing that's real far off the mark, that has to be the origin point, and then you build from there, and then everything else comes off of that.
It's another actually highlight and talk about is I am about 3 weeks, a month, haven't needed my Klonopin. Each night I was prescribed a milligram to take every night in 2018. It's a controlled substance, benzo. And one of my goals was to eventually get myself off of it, and it was a long journey to get off of it. Cutting it from milligram every night to half a milligram every night to quarter milligram every night to quarter every other night to quarter every other 2 nights, to eventually not needing it every night. But with that, my sleep has definitely, the sleep schedule's diverted a little bit.
Sure.
I like my, I'll wake up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'll just go to my phone and scroll and YouTube or put something on and watch. And I think my next goal is to cut screen time, at least in the middle of the night. I've been falling asleep to my computer, TV, or whatever. Even sound, like I don't like silence going to sleep. So my next goal is to cut, screen time, waking up and not, touching anything.
Yeah.
Necessarily. So that'll be next goal. Hopefully, the 2024 podcast, Joel doesn't wake up using his cell phone.
Crushing it. That a boy. Did you experience any like withdrawal symptoms?
I wouldn't necessarily say withdrawals. I do feel a lot clearer in the mornings, my head. But I think because of the timeline that I gave myself, like I cut myself from a milligram to half a milligram while I was still living here. So it was a long process and partially, yeah, I was a little bit scared of getting off of it and of any withdrawals, but I think I gave myself a good schedule.
Yeah.
And
that's a good.
yeah. So, I want to replace medicine with more natural stuff. I really do believe the body can help, heal itself. It's not to say that medicine isn't, important.
Right.
But if you don't need it, you shouldn't need to take it.
How do you think your exercise routine has helped your mental health?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I like feeling, I like feeling a little bit bigger, but I don't necessarily know if that's come out as confidence necessarily. I don't know. I don't think like it's necessarily made me happier or, less stressful, but I definitely feel, more, a little bit more confident. If I just haven't really done, I feel like enough to say, yeah, my mood's completely changed by going to the gym twice a week. But like I said, I feel comfortable now. Like if somebody asked me if I wanted to go, I could go.
Yeah.
That if I needed to go do something active, I feel more confident that I could do that. That I don't necessarily feel like I have the inability or not necessarily. I was never fat or super skinny or any, but I like to lay down and not be active, and getting active has felt good. That combined with still playing trombone and band, those things have really kept me sound. So, and band is still going well.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Trying to think, what else? Let's see how well you know me.
All right.
Unless, did you have any other questions?
No. I mean, a couple, but we're rolling well. So
let's see. Do you know what year I graduated high school?
Yeah, the year after me.
No.
2 years after me.
Sure.
2012.
Yes.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 2012.
Got it.
The year after me. Okay.
Pretty close.
Where else have I lived?
Nowhere. You live in Plano.
Wrong. Where else have I lived?
Oh, you lived in Phoenix.
I lived in, yes,
Yeah.
I lived in Phoenix.
Yeah, you went to school at Arizona
I
State.
can tell you lived in San Francisco. You lived here. You lived in South Dakota. I don't know where the hell South Dakota State is.
Brookings.
Sure. And you lived in Philly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else you lived. I don't think so.
No. I mean, I spent a bit of time in Germany, but I didn't really live there.
Yeah, that was like a summer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you lived here in Phoenix.
Do you know what my first job was?
Absolutely not.
I don't know if I told you. It was at Cinemark Legacy.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That was a movie theater.
In high school?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got you your popcorn and movies, and
I saw you there?
you might have. I got people their pickles too. That's a Texas thing.
Yeah. That's yeah. I never ate a pickle at a movie theater.
Neither did I. But apparently that's a Texas thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what my favorite color is?
Mavs blue.
No.
Burgundy.
Close.
Red.
No.
Orange.
It's purple. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, because
Do you know my sister's name?
No.
It's Jennifer.
Yeah, it's Jennifer.
Okay. Do you know what kind of dog my parents have?
Marley.
That's not a kind, that's the name.
I don't know what kind of dog it
It's
is.
a golden doodle.
I know her name's Marley.
Okay, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that you know. Do you know do you know my favorite Marvel movie?
Spider-Man.
No.
Endgame. Civil War.
Civil War. Okay. Good.
Those are all three in your top, that are in your top 5 at least.
Yes.
But I'm not sure which Spider-Man though.
I like the Tobey Maguire, but if we're talking like cinematic universe, the third one was the most fun.
Which one?
The one where they all come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew Civil War was your favorite one.
Oh, this was a question for you. What was your worst Halloween costume?
My worst Halloween costume. Well, from about age 2 to 13, I was the White Power Ranger.
That's not worse. That's awesome. I think.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
I was a Power Ranger, so I was the red one.
And then I don't know what I dressed up like in. I think I was still a Power Ranger. And then I probably had some weird ones when I was in college, but I don't remember what they were.
Yeah, I was a slutty nurse.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I also won't share them because I don't remember. I don't know what I did. So
But
Rhea and I dressed up as dodgeball characters for Halloween a couple years ago. Those were hilarious.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
The eyebrow. Mine was my grandparents gave me an inflatable plumber costume, and it had the butt crack in the back, and yeah, I decided to wear that for marching band one year. So you see just inflatable suit, fat Joel going. And it was not a great costume. What else? If you could see a celebrity doctor, who would you see?
A celebrity doctor?
Yes.
I don't even know any celebrity. Dr. Phil.
Okay.
Dr. Phil, yeah.
That's okay choice.
What's your choice?
Dr. Dre.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of celebrity doctors. I thought you were going to say JP. Jordan Peterson.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I switched my answer. I switched to Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
He's my favorite.
I mean, there's a lot of famous doctors in the world. But yeah, Dr. Dre is going to be mine.
Okay.
Let's think. And then, if you could travel in time, would you go to the past or the future?
The past. And nothing like no repercussions, or what do I get to do there?
There's no butterfly effect.
I would go to the past.
Same here.
Yeah, probably hang out with my sister.
Yeah. I want to know if that stuff in the Bible was real.
You go all the way back.
I'd go all the way back. Yeah. Maybe I could, find my way into the Last Supper where, he's painting. I could be the plate holder that goes.
Nice.
One day.
But no butterfly effect.
But no butterfly effect.
You just hang out there and then you move on, or what?
It's just, hey, if you could travel in time, not affect the present or the future.
Yeah, I would
Go to the past.
hang out with my sister one more time.
That's honorable.
Let's see. All right. If you knew what you know now, how would your life be different?
If I knew what I know now, how would my life be different? Ooh. I think the question... If I knew what I knew then... First off, I think the good way to loop it back to stuff earlier is, would I have the discipline to actually put into action what I know then, know now?
I got what you mean.
Yeah.
Would you be able to act on the things that you know now via discipline then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it takes confidence to go, and talk to a girl. That's what they like, Don't just shy and try to have somebody do this, or, don't. I'm trying to think, but I would have to have the confidence to go and talk to that girl. So, it's nothing without action that, it's nothing without action. But how would I be different if I knew?
How would if your life would be different? Would it be different, or?
No. I mean, honestly, I'm the same guy I was, in high school and middle school that I am now. I'm just a goofball that, loves people, that cares about others. Is just trying to find happiness and love and joy and just, live life to the fullest. So I don't necessarily know if I would be a different person. I would probably be in different places, because I think about this all the time. Like, what happens if I didn't quit my job?
That you had in Phoenix?
That I had before moving back to Phoenix with State Farm.
Right.
What if, I didn't cut this relationship out with this one person? Or what if I, didn't cut out this one girl? Or what if I, picked up another instrument? Of course, I think of all the, the what ifs. Or what if I did another career path? Like, what if I did audio engineering instead of going to business as my first degree path? There's so many what ifs. But, I think, why is it too late to know what I know then to apply now?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You have.
So I think
you're a young, bright man with the unlimited choices ahead of you.
Now it's. Yeah. Now, like, can I go and physically do some of the stuff like that I wish I could have? If I knew that I could be a competitive gymnast, I would have. I don't think I would, be some scrawny little, or, I wouldn't be the guy complaining about going to the gym now if, I knew I was a good gymnast and I stuck with that. And I can't really dwell on the past and how it would have affected the future, but I have a bunch of knowledge from the past I can definitely apply now.
Yeah.
Like I said, like those things, like confidence or, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all my confidence when I was in high school specifically came from the gym.
Um, I would say my confidence in high school came from trombone, but one had a little bit. I was gonna say one had a little bit more effect wooing others than the other did, or getting people, I guess, to uh, make them approachable. It's like you got the guy that's working to make himself look good, or the guy that's trying to just make good music on a trombone. In high school, perception, would have been the gym rat.
Yeah, but making art is now is a beautiful thing.
I love what I do, and I would have been probably self conscious, but I knew I was a good player, and that's where my confidence came from. I didn't let people tell me I was a bad player.
Yeah.
But that only really translated to so much. I don't think it translated as much to social and ineptness as it did for like confidence and ability to. I still had, I guess, a social shadow kind of cast over me. Like it's being social. Confidence isn't as great as I guess my musical confidence.
Oh, like you're saying now.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I mean,
Or it doesn't really transfer to another. Like I know I'm confident behind the trombone. I'm not as confident if I'm like put in a social situation.
what, like having a conversation with someone or what?
Just any kind, like yeah.
I mean, all the big gatherings that we've been together recently, you nail it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've noticed the older I get, I become a little bit more reserved, and I don't know if that's just maturing because I'm always the loud person, but I try to become a little bit more reserved, and I try to be the person that gets approached and not the approacher, if that makes sense.
In what? In just like a casual bar setting or at a party?
Just any just in general, I want to be the person that people find not interested, but feels like that they can approach and have conversation with, if that's what I mean, rather than the person that goes up and tries to mingle their way into conversation.
Sure.
I like to be approachable.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty easy to have a conversation with, so.
Oh, thank you. I try.
I mean, yeah, it has to be it's a trainable and learnable skill.
Yeah.
How we communicate is paramount to pretty much everything.
Oh,
we
for sure.
express how we want, what we need, what we don't like, what we do like. How we create relationships and love and all of those things. So it's very important.
Oh, for sure.
Very important. And like all people, sometimes we're not very sophisticated with our language, or we say the wrong thing, or we stumble over words, or we
I have quite a few
a joke that doesn't land or is too icky or whatever it is, right? You have to do those things. You have to try them out in a real setting, to see what your style is, how you approach things, how you would go up to a woman or someone you find attractive, or how you can interject yourself in a conversation where it's a group of people. Like you have to learn all of those things, and it takes a bunch of times where you just fall fucking flat on your face and you walk away like, then you're like, okay, what did I actually learn from that? How can I get better? How can I do something differently? Okay, whatever it is, right? It's all part of the process, and it's fun. And you're learning that specifically in the gym. That's why I think the gym is such a translatable skill to everywhere else, right? Because you can see how it's paying off.
Yeah.
Right? That's hard to tell in a lot of other things in life because they're not so tangible to grasp. Like, especially with your mental health. Like, so I think that's why the gym is so cool, because you get everything that you earn. Like, if I don't go to the gym, I'm not going to get big. I'm not going to look good. I'm not going to, whatever your goal is in the gym, but you do it, you see it, it pays off. You're like, oh, okay, how can I use this same thing that I just found out in the gym to all these other areas of my life? Okay, I want a better job, or I want to make more money, or I want to find one partner, or I want to, whatever it is. Like, okay, I just have to go out and earn it. I have to do these things every day over a long period of time and be as consistent as possible. And then maybe it'll work out. No guarantee that it will, but because consistency doesn't guarantee success, but I know that not being consistent will guarantee that you won't be successful.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Do you have any last minute comments, questions, concerns, funny stories, anecdotes,
No.
wisdom for the people?
I was trying to think. When's this episode drop?
Sometime in October.
So
Like 4 weeks.
October, what's in my life? October 28th at Christ United Methodist Church, 7 p.m. If you would like to come to my band concert, we're playing a fun symphony. I believe the organ will be played. So if you want to come see some nice music and me doing what I love most, slide into the DMs.
Well, you can't hit him up on Instagram, but
yeah, actually, slide into his DMs.
you can talk to me, and I'll be Joel's
hit me
messenger.
up on Facebook,
For sure.
or if you need the number,
We'll just post his number in the show notes.
yeah, for all of you too.
Anyways, all right, Joel. Love you, man.
I love you too. Always fun. Always a pleasure.
Cheers.
Can't wait for 5.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into that episode. And if you enjoyed it, click here for another full-length episode of the podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe. But above all else, most importantly, please take good care of yourselves and others. And I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Cheers.